Hey Dons, been a good weekend. Thanks for the videos. Actually, obviously two sets of videos, isn't it? Some of the drills, I think from about Thursday, Friday, and then obviously you sent me the videos from the range. So that was really cool. And quite interesting to see the difference. Okay, so obviously when you're doing the drills at home in the studio, what I asked you to do with the left arm or whatever, and then we go into the swings, okay, we can see a massive difference in those arms. All right, a couple of days later on the range, I know sort of warming up on the mat on the range, and I think it was warming up before you went to play, then we can see the arms not holding up. Okay, maybe also not focusing on. I see you did 3-wood center striking drill there on the range. It's cool. But I think we're at the point where we could start trying to focus on it on the range outside, and we can even start trying to focus on it a little bit on the golf course. All right, okay. One or two where a bit of movement came in. It's quite obvious to see now the difference when you're sort of quite still and quite good, and then every now and then sort of maybe 6 or 7 swings it crops in. All right. I will say on top of that, don't worry, it's not a huge issue for us right now. Learning to plant, shift earlier and release later is what's really, really critical. It's our last big thing we have to learn in our golf swing. Right. From there, obviously, short game putting instincts and what we spoke about, target selection, a little bit of routine, that stuff. That's what we need to improve now. All the golf playing skills, not technique skills. Okay, playing, how to play the game, how to instinctually think about it, work out, and do your best to execute the game, right? Anyway, so pretty happy with where we are, but I'm really excited from what I saw in the studio with those arms. So I want to stay on that, okay? And then next week we'll chat a little bit about where you've been aiming, picking targets, and visualizing, because I still want you to kind of think about that a little bit more, if I can say that, right? Okay, so warm up. Okay, now this is to develop your short game, but it's also to learn about what we're talking about when you release the club and how much your arms extend, right? So warm up, we're going to do some pitching. Now, if you can't do it inside at the studio, I understand that, then try and get yourself down there and work it out and just play around. You don't need more than 10 or 15 minutes, right? So warm up, we're going to do high and low wedges. So if you have a lob wedge, do it with a lob wedge. If you don't and you only have a sand wedge, you do it with a sand wedge, right? So your high one, okay, we're going to have the ball, the stance slightly wider than we would when we're sort of chipping, all right, and the ball sort of just forward of center, and then the face just tweaked 2 or 3 degrees open. All right, that's your high pitch. Okay, then we make a little sort of L shape, like that. Okay, so we're talking about 25, 30-yard pitch over a bunker, something like that. Okay, so slightly wider, stance, ball forward, face a little bit open, hit your L shape. Okay, and then in order to hit the ball high, we want a slight early release and very little or no extension in the arms. So the face is open, but we got some lag. Okay, and we release the club right at the bottom of the ball. Arms fold a little bit, body comes through. That's our high one, right? So just set up and hit, I don't know, 3, 4, or 5 high ones. It's not going to go very high. This is a 6 iron. L shape. Okay, let's do that again. Sorry, I don't think it'll work very well with a 6 iron. Let's just go a little bit. See, in order to make it work with a 6 iron, I've got to aim left, and I don't want to do that because I don't want you to do it. Remember, your sandwich will work perfectly. Okay, little forward of center, L shape. Okay, and that's your little release for your high one. Okay, then a low one. So maybe trying to drive it into a hill. Still with the sandwich. It's low, right? Still with the sandwich. Try to drive it into a hill or hit it in the middle of the green and then let the contours take it back to the flag, something like that, right? So fairly narrow. Ball's going to be pretty much on the right toe. Okay, it's not that far back because the stance is so narrow. So, you know, on the right toe with a wide stance, that's very far back. But because the stance is so narrow, it's actually not that far back, right? So on the back toe, a little closer to the ball, face nice and square. Okay, same L shape. But now you have to turn your body, keep the handle way in front, turn your body, and most importantly, extend. Okay, so a little bit back, L shape. Okay. Right, now obviously I understand that's easy for me to just rattle off. You've got to learn it, but that's the point. Okay, you have to learn it, right? Okay, so high one, Wider ball forward, no extension. Low one, narrow ball back, lots of extension. Almost no release if you can. All right, doesn't matter how well it goes this week. Okay, it's just planting a seed. Yes, it's for some short game versatility, it's going to help us, but it's planting a seed as to what we're trying to do. And what are we trying to do? Where are we at? Release it later, maximize our extension. That's where we at. That's what we're trying to do. Okay, so our release point drill last week was not so much about the extension, it was about learning to release it later. And there were a couple of those swings, okay, where you were really great hitting the ball first and the ground slightly afterwards. Okay, that's fantastic. That's exactly what we want, right? So really, really good stuff. Okay, so that's your little warm-up drill. Okay, then just going to focus exactly on those arms, and I just wanted to explain to you right arm, because you did, in the one drill, you did the right arm, and you were trying to straighten it, but now you're kind of sort of straightening it too early, and that's causing the wrong thing. So if we release over here, even with straight arms, we're still going to have no extension. Okay, so I like the idea you had, okay, but just doing it wrong, and that's what we're going to do. All right, so we're going to do little left arm reps. So you do 2 of each rep, and then you hit a ball trying to feel the same thing, right? So the first one is our normal one, okay? If you can add in a little bit, yeah, but it doesn't really matter too much. You were straight quite early, and you were really good going through. So 2 of those, all right? Then you flip it over, still left arm, 2 with the club head, the normal side. Then you grab and hit a ball, and you try to feel that same thing, right? Okay, and then you go again. Over, okay, obviously until you fatigue. So I think do, I don't know, again, sort of 5 reps, I would say, which is 10 of those in 5 shots. And then flip to drill 2. Let that hand rest, flip to your right hand. So you just kind of go back and forth a little bit, right? Between drill 1 and drill 2. Okay, so how does the right hand work? So yes, we do want that right arm to straighten, 100%. Okay, but we want it to straighten as late as possible. So it's not the same as the left arm. So left arm is straight throughout if we can. Right arm must stay bent. Okay, particularly on the downswing, bent, 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 bent. And then straighten as you hit the golf ball. So we're adding in right arm now. Okay, you started this. Okay, so same drill but now with the right hand. So right hand is bent, 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 straight. Okay, and you get this sort of flick or snap, right? Okay, then a couple with the holding club the correct way with a bit more weight. Okay, bend, 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 snap. Okay, and then obviously hit one, bend, 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 bend. See, left arm straight, right arm bent, both arms straight. Okay, I understand this happens so quickly. That's what we're just going to learn. Let's do our draws. Feel the right hand, feel the left hand. Feel the right hand, feel the left hand. Over time, put them together. And that's what we're after. It's our big missing piece of our puzzle. Okay, it's extension and release point. Release point, extension. Okay, that's the part that's going to try and really take us into the sort of mid-80s. Okay, I mean, obviously a bit of short game of putting, obviously, but that's what's going to really take us in. All right, thank you all, as always. Have a lovely week. I hope the doc view, I'll message you, but I hope it went well. I hope it's nothing serious. And keep up the hard work. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon.